I had received a message on my Etsy page asking if I was going to make any more journal dangles, and I have been working on those today, so I thought I would make a video and take you along. I hope you'll join me. I hope everyone is having a good day today. I have been busy working, getting some journal dangles ready for my Etsy shop. And so I thought, since I was going to be working on them anyway, I would go ahead and make a video and show you how I make these. And we can make some together. So we're going to get started. These are the kind I'm going to be making today. They are great for just hanging off your journal. We're going to make several different styles. And I don't know, I just think they make cute little accents. You could also put ribbons on them if you wanted, or some eyelash trim or whatever. These particular ones are pretty plain. I do have these listed as well, and they're a little more fancy. They have some lace and some eyelash trim, and they actually have a hanging down at the bottom. A hangy, that's a technical term for those of you that need clarification. Okay, so let's get started. I've done some prep work just because I make such a mess when I'm trying to paint anything or work with any inks or stains, as you can see by my lovely color of my nails here. I usually don't wear colored polish, but I do put clear polish on, and when I do, the ink stains it. So every Sunday evening, I'm redoing my nails so I can go to work on Monday without orange nails and orange fingers. But that's a whole different story. Okay, so what I started with is these little baseboard circles, and these were actually in a Happy Mail that I got, but they're probably like considered ATC coins, I would think, but they're chipboard. They're pretty thick, and I really didn't know what to do with them at first, and so I came up with these little dangles just to use them. So again, it's using up something I have. And these are just little price tags that I found at our local thrift store. There was a whole box of, I don't know, probably 50 or so, maybe more, that were like 99 cents. I'm sure you could find these at like an office supply or something. They're just regular old price tags with a cord. And so what I did to get ready is I painted all of these with black gesso just to cover up, the gray press board, and to give them just a more finished look. And I used just regular old acrylic black gesso, Master's Touch, this Hobby Lobby's brand. And of course I get it when it's half off or whatever, but it's great for just putting down a base surface so that you have something to work with. So I've got a stack of those here, and then on my tags, what I did to grunge them up is I used Tim Holtz oxides in Distress oxides in Tea Stain and in Vintage Photo, and I did the little squish on the mat, squirt with the water, drag it through, and let it dry kind of thing. And so that's how I got this really grungy look to these. And you can see they came out really good. So that was my prep work for that. And then I just got some scrap paper that I had in several different styles. This one's got music on it, and this is just regular scrapbook paper. I think that was from a Tim Holtz scrap that I had. And then I took some German book page that has this really cool German writing on it, and cut some of those out. And for that I used, I think it's 1.5 inch circle die, or circle punch. And as you can see, it's going to leave a border around these, which is what I wanted to do. If you wanted it to go all the way to the edge, you could of course trace your circles, or probably, looking at this, I'd say get 1 3/4 inch punch or die. I know my 2 inch is too big, so I would say it's a 1 3/4 if I had to guess. But for these, I thought it would be interesting to leave the border, the black border around it, so that's why I did that. You can see on this one, I did not do that, but I also did not paint it's just on the regular unfinished piece, baseboard piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to first cover these in paper. And these have, you can probably tell better on this one since it's not painted. They have a very flat side, and then this other side has just a slight rounded top. So that's our top and that's our back. So when I cover these, I want to make sure that I'm getting the right side, and you can tell it pretty easily even when they're painted. And then I'm going to put regular paper on the front, and for some interest, I'm going to put the German book page on the back, like that. And so we're going to do a few of these, and I'm just going to use my art glitter glue to do that. I feel like my tongue is tied today. I don't know what's going on. So we're just going to apply the glue. Make sure you get it to the edges. We're just going to stick that on and try to give ourselves an even border all the way around. And we're going to put a book page on the back. Same thing. These are really fragile, but I think once they get the glue on them, they'll be good. Like that. We'll do that a couple more times so I can show you one of each style, and then we'll move on to the next step. And you can do these. I have a tendency to like the more vintage look, the grungy look. I think I've said that in previous videos, but these could just as well be done in brighter colors, and you don't have to do what I'm doing, of course, because everybody's taste is different. I just prefer the vintage, kind of old looking stuff. Okay, so there's one like that. Let's do one with the numbers. I just noticed that that says 2015. That's funny. Let's just an accident of how I cut out the circle. I was out sitting on my back porch this morning, and the cicadas are so loud here. I have woods behind my house, and that's where they have all migrated to now that they're up out of the ground, and it just is a continuous hum. I don't know how bad you guys have them where you are. I'm glad the woods aren't any closer than they are, or I don't, it'd be deafening out there. Okay, and then let's do this one. Oop, I don't want to do that because I'll end up outside that circle, because that's just would be me. I tried to do as much prep work as I could before I started the video, because I know it's boring to watch somebody else just sit and glue stuff or paint stuff or ink stuff. So I tried to get some of that out of the way so you wouldn't have to watch all that. Of course, you could always fast forward through if I get too boring. Okay, I'm trying to film ahead and get some videos ahead, because most of my video making time has to be on the weekends since I do work. And so I do have a couple of things already filmed that I'll be releasing this week, so keep your eye out. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and hit the little bell, and it'll notify you when I have a new one. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to take the magic crocodile here, and I've already set this. I've slid this back so that I know if I hit that little stopper here, it's going to be at the right spot. So I'm going to make sure my words are upside right, and it'll just go right through there. The only problem that you'll have is, since it's baseboard, it gets clogged in that hole, and I just take my little pokey tool and get it out so that I can see where I'm placing the next one. That's the only thing about this thing is it cuts through that baseboard like butter, but it does leave that little. Actually, I am going to turn it for the words, and that makes that 215 not seem so 2015 not seem so obvious. See, that one's going to be stubborn now that I'm trying to do something. And the last one. Okay. Clean as you go, right, Lee? Okay. So this is what we have now. The next step is going to be to stamp these little guys with something. I've got a few little clear stamps over here and one little other stamp. And I'm going to use Stays On. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I did these with oxides. And if you were to re-wet these or reintroduce anything with moisture, it's going to tend to wick. And so I feel more comfortable using the Stays On after I've used the oxides. You can use Archival ink too, but I want these to be pretty black. So, and this is blacker than the Archival ink black. So this one I've already got set up, and it's just a little dragonfly stamp and the word dream. So it will look like this one. And so, put this on here. Make sure we have good coverage. And then I'm not going to worry that this is perfect because, again, you know, I'm going for that more aged distressed look. So perfect is not a necessity. So that's what we have for that one. And then I didn't bring a wipey over here. Normally I would take just a wipe and wipe that off. I'm using this other block to keep my stamps on so I don't lose them. So that's the dragonfly one. And then I thought we would do a butterfly. But for the butterfly, I'm just going to do half of him. So when I stamp it, I'm only going to stamp half of him on here. So let's do that. I'm going to try to get ink just on the one half. That may not work very well, but because I don't have a wipey to wipe my, this stamp's fairly new, so I'm just checking to make sure that it's getting good coverage. For those of you that don't know, if you, ooh, Grace, if you have a new stamp, you can put Stays On it and leave it for a minute and then wipe it off, and it will prime it so that it takes ink better. Just press that down for a second. So that's what we have for that one. And I think I'm going to take this little, this is a Tim Holtz. It just says figure 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. I don't know if you can see that or not. And I'm going to put it just right down the side. Okay, so that's what that one will look like. And then for the last one, we're going to do a bee. And this word filed. And put the ink on it. Another time just for measure. And press down. Hope I'm on in frame here. Oh, our bee didn't come out too good. Let's see if I can fix that. Probably not. I'm probably gonna mess it up here, but it's not the end of the world if we do. We just get another one, right? It's not bad. Okay. So I've done one of each one. So we'll work from there. All right. Move that out of the way so you guys can see. So the next thing I did is I packed my little goodie tray here. If you haven't seen this in a previous video, these I found on eBay. They're just little kids muffin or cupcake tins. They say pat a cake on them, so I'm assuming it was for one of those ovens, kids ovens that really cooked stuff back in the day. And I filled it up with all kinds of little trinkets that I'm going to use to make these. The first thing we're going to do is decide what we're going to hang on these. For example, on this one, I put this number 6. So whatever you're going to do to the tag, you want to do that first. For this butterfly, we can do a gear, which I think would be really cute. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this gear, put it on here, and poke a hole in it with my pokey tool. And get one of my little fasteners here and put it through the center hole. And of course, if you're going to use these, you would have to use one that has a center hole. Some of them don't have center holes, and this process wouldn't work. So we could put a little gear on that one. And then on the B, I think I'm going to do this little key. And again, I'm going to poke a hole without poking through my finger. Yesterday I poked through my finger. Wasn't fun. Not through my finger, into my finger. I shouldn't say through my finger. That would really not be fun. And again, I'm going to take a little fastener. Put that on here. And then on the dragonfly, I've got 2 kinds of numbers. I've got these, which are Tim Holtz. Both of them are Tim Holtz, actually. I've got that one. And then I've got the one like I used here. I think on this one I'll use this one since we already did that one. And you notice I'm not even worried about what color little Brad I'm putting in here or anything else, because I don't mind if they're not the same color or they're mixed up. That doesn't bother me. All right, so there's our 3 different kinds. 3 different styles. And of course you could mix and match those any way you wanted to. If you wanted to put, you know, this B with that word or this or that, or, you know, you could switch them up however. They're all going to look cute in the end. So now we have to attach them to these. And what we're going to do for that is we're going to place them, put an eyelet in there with their crocodile. So for the B, I'm going to put on the flowery one, I think. And the holes that we already poked should fit the grommet in there nicely. It fits nice and tight and snug. And then we'll just take this thing and smush it. And I'm never good at this, hitting the hole. And there's what we have. Pretty cute. And let's put this one on here. And I think that really helped tilting that, because now the date, it's not going to seem so much like a date, although you can't really see the background that much anyway. It's more for Paint a little bit of color back there. Put this in there. It's beautiful here today. It's going to get hot after a while. Sun shining. Okay, so there's our 3 with the grommets. And then the last step is going to be to use these bulb pins and just stick it through. And you know, the things that you could do to hang off this are endless. These particular ones I had just made to be more simplistic and for people that, you know, don't care for lace or trims, or, you know, they're more streamlined and actually could be used even on a more masculine journal, because there's not really, other than that flower paper that we used for the bee, there's really not anything that's not kind of gender neutral on these. So, and there you go. It's short, sweet, and they end up being really cute. And like I said, you know, this one had a couple more pieces to it. See, I use those little tiny tags, and those are price tags too. Those are like jewelry, price tags for jewelry. I got those at Hobby Lobby, I think. And just a little cross. And then these I made. These don't actually have the baseboards like these. They're actually about 3 layers, I think, of cardstock weight scrapbook paper, or cardstock with scrapbook paper on top. And then they've got a piece of tea bag, some eyelash trim, some lace, a little book page flower, and then they've got the little grommet in the center of the flower, and then they've got a couple of little danglies off the top, off a ball pin as well. Just a little butterfly die cut in a Tim Holtz word on just a piece of cardstock. And then they have a dangly at the bottom that's just hung off a jump ring. And that's one of Tim Holtz ornaments that he just came out with in the new line. So, like I said, these are a lot more dainty and frilly for the more frilly type journals. And then again, this one's made basically the same way. It's got a little bling for the center, and it has a gear hanging from the bottom. So you got kind of the bling and the grunge in this one. So, and again, these are just, I think there's 4 layers of cardstock that are glued together to make those. So this one's short and sweet, but I think you get the idea. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. And if you have not subscribed, please do so. I will link my Etsy shop. Thank you, Lee, for reminding me to do that. And we will see you next time. Bye.